This might be a new Man United under Eric Ten Hag, but they're up to their old bloody tricks with VAR and refereeing decisions seemingly always going Man United's way. And Eric Ten Hag's, reincarnation of Man United has been developed, has been moved on. And I think in this first game of the season against Wales, we've seen some real green shoots, but it does feel like the project at the moment is still really half cooked. There was a few players in this match that are really holding the style of play back, and it's maybe not who you think. I've seen some really interesting shapes from Man United, both on the ball and off the ball. And I think there's a lot of signs of promise here for somebody that could go on to be a really attacking modern football, total football sort of team in the Premier League under Eric Ten Hag, because there's enough raw pieces there and foundations there to build upon. But like I mentioned already, there's one or two people just kind of holding it back, I think, from reaching its full potential. Yes, they were very lucky against Wales not to have a penalty conceded against them, and their goal obviously coming right at the end of the game thanks to Raphael Varane. But Man United, I think there's more promise here than what I've seen in terms of the wider reaction out there. So in the video today, I'll tell you what I enjoyed about watching Man United against Wolves. At any point in the video today, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something, or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel. We're pushing for 10,000 subscribers, and we cannot do that without your support. So if you do enjoy the content here, drop a like, hit subscribe, share it with your pals, WhatsApp groups and all that fun stuff, and drop a comment down below. Tell me what I'm getting wrong or what I'm missing, or maybe what you didn't notice the first time you watched the match. And let's just get stuck into it. Now, on the face of it, again, we're looking at the starting 11 as being very close to what I predicted in the preseason. I just felt it in my gut that Garnacho was going to be preferred to Sancho. And I know this is only in the first game, but he did start the first game. Told you so. And I think it's quite clear that Eric Ten Hag puts him on a bit of a pedestal as being a really key player. We've seen Anthony, obviously one of his boys from Ajax, along with Lisandro and Onana making his debut, preferred in the wide option here. But the real talk of the town, or the real focus in terms of the debutants and the first team and whatever, was of course Mason Mount. Now, I was really excited about Mason Mount joining Man United for his ball progression ability that would really help the Ten Hag ball play out in this Man United team a bit better, alongside Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro. And we've seen some really nice glimpses of it dead early on. It was quite obvious very quickly that Onana is going to be proper sweeper keeper, and he is going to be distributing the ball out from the back as Man United kind of take shape. Now, as the match wore on, you'd have noticed more and more Bissaka was coming into this zone a little bit off the ball, but by the by, with Casemiro being the main defensive midfielder, it allowed Mount and Bruno a lot of freedom. And for Mason Mount, he got all over the pitch. His touch map is very busy everywhere without it being quite prolific in one spot or another. He went all over the pitch for Man United, which I thought was really good to see. And in the early stages of the match, as Man United built up possession and built into their attack formation, there was a trigger once or twice in the first half where Wolves would begin to drop back. Marcus Rashford didn't really stay with the defence, but as the defence for Wolves began to drop back, as Man United built up possession and started to progress up the pitch, we've seen Bruno and Mount quickly get ahead of the striker. And with the likes of Garnacho and Anthony, you'd have seen a very regular pattern of play for Man United where it was get it into these guys in these wide pockets very quickly, get it into their feet and look to make something happen and beat a few guys on the dribble. Now, Wolves did not give Man United very much space to play, and I think it was Brentford against Tottenham. I thought they did it quite masterfully against the Ange kind of forward press, and Wolves did it to great effect here against Man United, really killing any sort of forward progressive movement they were trying to make in overload with their attacking midfielders as they kind of come into the game by banking into, it was almost like a double bank of a 5 and a 4 almost, with like two forwards. Cunha being the most productive to come back and cause a bit of a mess, turn the ball over and go and counter attack. But this is the way Man United often try to play, out in the left and out in the right. And because Wolves didn't give Man United much space in the centre, I don't think Bruno or Mount was really given much of an ability in the final third to really build out the game that I think was the intention that we've seen from Man United in the first half. Man United's build-up play repeated itself quite a number of times where it was going Onana to Lisandro, and we're looking to play out from the likes of Shaw and Casemiro, and the range of passing from Shaw, Casemiro, and even when it does get into the likes of Bruno and Mount, is fantastic, and they were able to turn the ball over really quickly into the wide areas, into Anthony and Garnacho, and I think both of them, Anthony in particular, was wildly wasteful. I think too often when the ball came to him, just not enough really came out of the back of it. But the few opportunities that Man United made that were really progressive, a really good attacking sequence of play where they managed to take advantage of the spaces, for me, Marcus Rashford was a huge letdown as a striker. Like, I just don't see it from him up front. He's pretty much always a couple of steps behind the play where he realises, like, there's a few times where he was played through on goal, one-on-one, or, he's played through and he was maybe meant to take the shot or try and find the pass, and he would, like, just not make the right decision, take too long to make the decision, whatever. And then he would sulk and feel bad for himself. And it's one of my biggest pet peeves seeing a footballer on the pitch. Is like, I read it as like playing up to the camera. Like, oh, the camera's probably on me there now, so I better look sad so the fans know I'm really sad that I messed that up, And he doesn't realise that maybe Anthony's quickly turned the ball over and maybe won it back. And he's looking to quickly get by somebody and play a ball in. But Rashford's just standing here. And then by the time he realises what's going on, the Wolves defence have shuffled over and, dealt with any space that might have had there. And then, he's too late to the party. Ball turns over and then maybe it's a restart situation. So I do feel that, Rashford, Anthony in particular, really did let the side down. Now, with Man United reportedly, going to be signing Benjamin Pavard as well, I think what we've seen from Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a big tell that he will be a very good right-back option for them. If not, filling in for Varane as centre-back. He does have that versatility. Wan-Bissaka, on the face of it, is a very prominent defensive presence, and filling in here to allow Casemiro to protect a bit of territory further up the pitch as Man United build up, I think is a really smart move for an inverted fullback situation, which is more and more prevalent in the modern game. So I kind of like it. He didn't do that great, and I think I'll feel that the Wolves turnovers, maybe you'd look at the situation that some of these guys have found themselves in. But I think Pavard coming in here definitely adds an extra level of top-end class into this defence that looked actually pretty robust and pretty settled. And overall for this, and I know Mount, maybe Bruno haven't come in for, plaudits after this game, but I thought the structure and the patterns that we've seen throughout everyone in this area here seemed pretty coherent, and, it just needs maybe a wee bit more refinement and maybe just one or two more, maybe just one more face change, and, we're building up successfully. But where it is going to fall down is this forward position, and thankfully Man United have got that situation addressed. Hojlund is going to be so much more lively in these situations that we've seen even against Wolves, never mind the rest of the league and, in Europe and whatever, than what I seen from Rashford on Monday night. He's going to offer such different options, and he's going to offer more options. He's going to be alive to play more often, and he's really selfless in the sense that when he is in these positions, when he breaks in behind space and he's got the option to find somebody, he doesn't hesitate. He's got a really good track record for assists and key passes in the final third and that kind of thing. So he's somebody that can definitely develop on the numbers he's had already in his career, and the style of play I think is really going to suit having these kind of direct wingers who are just, as soon as they get the ball, they want to come inside, play with someone and get something happening very quickly. So I think both these wingers, if they are the preferred options, Garnacho and Anthony, will do better in these types of games where you are facing a deep defence that's very resolute, or even if you're transitioning quickly, because like I mentioned before, Casemiro, Shaw, Mount, Bruno, these guys were playing long-range passes into space to get these guys on the ball quickly when the opportunity came, and I think we'll see more of that. But I think maybe you'll see Rashford playing a little bit more perhaps on the left or maybe on the right just because of seniority, but I do feel that if the manager gets his way, he'll probably keep Garnacho and Anthony out there. But Rashford maybe does better on this left-hand side with someone like Hojlund to interact with and, share some passing together and some movement for mutual benefit. That could be a good partnership that strikes up for sure. But from what I've seen him in these positions here, he just did not give enough against this sort of defence. But yeah, a lot of room for improvement, a lot of food for thought, and I think this, there's no Fred. We did see, I'm pretty sure McTominay came into this game along with Pellistri, so it's a bit of a rejuvenated Man United team, and I say the basic routes to goal, the patterns of play that we're starting to see really develop out now thoroughly from the back with Onana, Lisandro, Varane, Casemiro, that kind of quartet we've got back there orchestrating things. The foundations are all there. So yeah, I'm really excited to see Man United in their next game. And I think when we see Hojlund actually get into this, and maybe even somebody like Pavard, you could probably start to take Man United a bit more seriously when it comes to top four credentials, title shouts, never mind Champions League, I'm not too sure if there's going to be many more incomings from Man United, but it does feel like unless these young players that are in the attacking positions do really start to step up, there might be an outcry for maybe more experience and seniority perhaps in the forward line. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. On screen there now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Stay out of trouble, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.